Good morning, Bulldogs. Today is Wednesday, October the 14th. I apologize. Yesterday I told you it was October 12th. I did say Tuesday, but I said the wrong date. So again, today is Wednesday, October the 14th. I hope that you're having a wonderful morning. You will have 3 assignments today. You have a reading passage titled All About Pumpkins with questions to answer in forms. You have your vocabulary for life at the top, which is your story this week that we will be reading tomorrow. And you have a spelling unscramble to unscramble your 20 spelling words. First thing we're going to do is your All About Pumpkins passage. So you get into your assignments. It says 1014, All About Pumpkins informational passage. You have the passage and then the forms with the questions. Okay, with this being a scan, it is small, but you can zoom in right here. Push this little button, and you can go up, and it makes it bigger. Okay, I'm going to read it and then show you where the questions are. Pumpkins can be seen almost everywhere during the month of October because they are a symbol of many fall traditions. A pumpkin is a thick-shelled fruit filled with pulp and seeds. Each pumpkin has about 500 seeds inside. Pumpkins are shaped like a sphere and come in different sizes ranging from tiny to very large. Most pumpkins are orange, but pumpkins can also be yellow, white, green, or red. Pumpkins are native to Mexico, but now they are grown on every continent except for Antarctica. In the United States alone, 1.5 billion pounds of pumpkins are grown each year. A bit of pumpkin history. It is believed that pumpkins were first grown by ancient farmers in northern Mexico. Pumpkins were a large part of the Native Americans' diet. Pumpkin shells were dried and made into bowls and containers to store grain, beans, and seeds. Native Americans also weaved dried pieces of pumpkin together to make mats that were traded with other tribes and European explorers for needed supplies. Pumpkins have been used to cure snake bites and even to remove freckles. You guys don't get any ideas with that. Uses for pumpkins. Pumpkins can be used in a variety of different ways. People use pumpkins to make pumpkin pie and roasted pumpkin seeds. Pumpkins can also be used to make bread, cookies, soups, pasta, drinks, and more. Birds, cattle, and some farm animals are often fed pumpkins. Pumpkins are also popular decorating during the fall months and at Halloween. Many people carve funny or scary faces on pumpkins. The tradition of carving pumpkins began in Ireland, where they had a tradition of carving turnips. When the Irish began to immigrate to the United States, turnips were harder to find. They found plenty of pumpkins and chose to carry on their tradition of carving using pumpkins instead of turnips. Pumpkin life cycle. A pumpkin's life cycle starts with a seed planted in the ground in the spring. With water and sunlight, the seed begins to grow into a pumpkin sprout. A pumpkin plant will grow from the little green sprout. Then the pumpkin plant will turn into a pumpkin vine and yellow blossoms will start to show. The flowers are pollinated by bees, and then a little green fruit begins to grow from inside the flower. The small green pumpkin will continue to grow all summer until it becomes a big orange pumpkin ready to be harvested in the fall. I'm going to close this out and go to your forms for this one. It's right here, 10/14, today's date, and All About Pumpkins informational passage. And you have 6 questions. Describe what a pumpkin looks like. Where did the tradition of carving pumpkins begin? Who were the first group of people to grow pumpkins? Describe at least 2 ways Native Americans used pumpkins. Describe at least 2 ways people use pumpkins today. When should pumpkin seeds be planted? When you finish, hit submit and turn it in. You go back to your assignment. And you have life at the top, vocabulary and definitions. It's the same thing we've been doing each time we have a story. Here's what the page looks like. Here's what your forms look like. What is the definition of endurance as it's used in the story? Write a sentence using endurance as it is defined in the story. All right, when you get to drive, don't tell me you drove a car. That's not the definition that's used in the story. Make sure whatever you're writing your sentence and whatever definition, it matches the definition you're using in the story. These were attached to yesterday's assignment also. If you need them to go back, you may look at those. If not, it is in your book in the story starting on page 121. That's your second assignment. When you get finished, hit submit and turn it in. Go back one more time. Your last assignment is your spelling scramble. Here's what it looks like. Again, you can zoom in down here. Ooh. There is your word bank and your 20 spelling words. These were also attached into yesterday's assignment if you need them. And your form that goes with it. Okay, what is VRUEIT unscrambled? Well, I know that in my spelling words, when I go back and look, I have revenue that has a V, and I have virtue that has a V, and deceive that has a V. So when I see VRUEIT, I know that this word is virtue. So I will type that in there. You're going to do this all the way down with all 20 words. And when you finish, again, you're going to hit submit and turn it in. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Wednesday, a wacky Wednesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.